We have a liftoff. We have a liftoff.
What up, everybody? Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Man, we are at another episode of Authentically You. And I'm excited tonight because we have an amazing special guest. So I think we're having some technical difficulties on IG. So we'll figure this thing out. If not, we will leave it alone. But I think we got some problems over on IG tonight. If I'm not mistaken, we do. All right, so we're gonna get this thing right before we do anything. Let's get it right so we can know where we are. It's always good to. I see why people pre-record. All right, all right, we are good. All right, so we are good. So let's make sure that we are good on this end as well. Facebook, we're up. Hey, everybody. I don't know what's happening, but we're going to fix it real quick. Bear with us tonight. All right. So, hmm, all right. This is interesting. All right, let's do it like that. Okay, perfect. It is not allowing me to open up here and let everyone watch on Facebook. Hmm. Okay. All right. We're here. Let's get it. No IG. We're good. We're out of that. YouTube, we are good. All right. We made it to another episode. We made it. Let's get it tonight. We got a very special guest, and I'm excited about this guest. All right, there we go. I'm excited about this guest. Would y'all help me welcome to the stage? He is a husband, he is a father, he's so many different things. A creative. He's got his own story, and I can't wait to hear it. Would y'all help me welcome to the stage at this time the one and only my brother? Uh-oh. Did we lose his visual? Oh, there you go. There you go.
See how the enemy do? See, first IG, and as soon as you as soon as you introduce me, signal go out.
Listen, soon as when the introduction happened, this is what
Corny
it did.
games. It's corny.
I
That's
mean,
just me. Whatever we about to say is about the wreck something.
it's
So
got to be something good. It's got to be something good. I'm just doing one thing. For those of you who are joining us via YouTube, thank you so much. I'm just gonna share the YouTube link because I thought we would have IG, but IG is acting funny tonight, and so we're not gonna play with them tonight. If they act funny, they go low. What they say, we go high.
go high. We catch the replay.
We
Be
catch
out
the we catch the replay. Hey, while I'm doing this, while I'm sharing, do me a favor. I want you to give people a great introduction to who you are.
there. Honestly, I'm just a man of God. I'm a husband, a father first and foremost. I am a creative. I do a little bit of everything. I'm a graphic designer, a web designer.
Mm,
I am just a thought leader. You know,
mm, I love
I,
that.
I I like to lead from the back. You know, many of you probably know my wife, Marquita D. Collins, and I am the thought and the brains behind a lot of things she does. So I am the big. I have the big great ideas, and she loves to execute them. So that's essentially who I am. I like to undergird moves of God and ministry and things that God wants to do in the earth. So I feel like that's part of who I am, and my call is to push the people of God out.
And this is what I don't want people to do. I don't want people to minimize that stuff, right? And let's let this is a great segue to start.
Mm-hmm.
As a man who plays behind the scenes, have you ever felt slighted? Have you ever felt like, man, people don't see me, they don't give me my credit? How did you feel? If you didn't feel that way, that's fine too. But tell me what
I
happened.
never felt that way. The only time that ever creeped into my brain was when I had the men of God telling me that that's the way I
Mm,
feel, telling me that I should be this, telling me that, well, if your wife is that, you should be this, man. No, you know, that old doc stuff. And I've
mm,
never felt that way. I've always felt like God put me and her together for a reason, and I love being in the background. I love pushing.
mm.
It was only when, again, when these supposedly established men told me I was out of position, told me I should be the the one that's up front with the microphone. It's not who God created me to be.
When they told you this, tell me something. Like, what was you thinking? Because you're like, hey, they established, they got some wisdom.
I mean, keep it real. I
How did
battled
you
with it.
receive it?
I battled with it for a
That's
little.
what I want. Yep.
Yeah, and I quickly got over it because, again, God has a way of kind of setting us straight when we get out of our lane,
Mm.
and he corrected me real quick about what he created me to do and where he
Wow.
had me to be. But I can't lie, man. For a minute, I let that stuff creep in and kind of
Get with you.
agitate. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I think it's perfectly fair to say that you let it get with you because essentially man, you got people that was, they pretty much like, hey, you need to be over here versus being over there, and
And
it challenged you.
absolutely.
So when you were battling with that, what did you say to yourself specifically that made you go, forget it?
Well, the funny part about it is when I was having that battle, that's when we and my wife got saved. I mean, not saved, but when we got married, I wasn't saved. I was still out in, not out in the world going crazy. I was only pretty much a level-headed cat, but I was
Hmm.
still kind of teeter-tottering. And to be quite honest, when I had those men and those people telling me what I should be and shouldn't be, it created this I have no better word to use, but competition in my brain when it came to
Wow.
my wife, because she would check me with the word, check me, get me together all the time with the word. So I had that on this side of my brain. I had the men telling me I should be this. So
Mm,
what it did, it created this. I wanted to prove her wrong. I wanted to prove everybody wrong. So I dove into the word like head first, trying to learn everything I could so I could shut them down, so I could shut her
mm,
down, so I can prove to them that I was this man of God. I could prove to her that I knew the word and what the word said, and what God did in that was court me and tied me up. And I didn't realize I was in him until I was in him,
wow.
because of
Wow.
all that stuff swirling. So my natural thing, I'm a competitive person, and I feel like I can do anything I put my mind to. So it was just a challenge for me, and God
Wow.
knew that. God knew how to get me.
Wow.
He got me
Wow.
with the same thing that captivates me.
I love this for so many reasons, because I think any guy who hears from like kind of senior statesmen or seniors and guys like, yo, hey man, you don't belong right there. This is where you
Right?
belong. It
Yeah.
will make you think about it. Did you ever have conversations with her about what that looks like, how that made you feel? Uh, did you guys ever battle in that? Like, man, I don't even belong on this side. They told me I belong on this side.
Yeah, we definitely had conversations. The good thing about us is we've been friends since forever. So we
How long is forever? Let's throw that out there right now.
we met in the 10th grade, and we were like
Wow.
instant instant friends. I mean, and I'm 46 this year, so
Wow.
we've been friends since then. And
Wow.
and we've always had a great rapport. Like, she was my best friend before we even thought about being a
Best
thing.
friends.
Yeah, so that's one thing we've been blessed with. We know how to talk to each other. We know how to communicate. We know how to say it like it is. So it wasn't even I'm the man and you should be this. It was like, hey, what do you think about this? How you
Mm,
feel about that?
mm,
I don't feel comfortable in this. What do you think? And she tells me the truth. Now she wants to push me. She always wants me to be in the forefront. She wants me to be out and doing and leading, but she will tell me when I'm out of pocket, and I'll tell her the same thing. That ain't for you. This ain't for me. So we had honest conversations. It was never a contention in it. It was never a battle. And I think,
mm.
and I feel like in a lot of ways that's what those men were trying to stir up.
Create. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we had the grace of we have always been able to communicate
Mm,
effectively, and
mm.
and without venom and all that corrupt stuff.
All the
So
crazy stuff.
yeah,
I like that. I like that. Because it sounds like no matter what was said, you were able to derive to your own state of conclusion without letting it taint, where you guys were.
I'm so blessed to be in a relation. Like, we really can just be real with each other.
Mm.
And that's rare, to the point where if you were on the outside looking in, you might think it was like fake or phony, because we just have that. We
Yeah.
can talk and put it out there, and not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, we're not perfect. We have our moments when we bump heads, but
For sure.
we
I mean,
truly.
two individuals coming together is always going to be that, because y'all coming from two different backgrounds, two different
Absolutely.
places. So I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, for
She's a
sure.
church girl, and I was not church. Nothing. I grew up in the hood. I grew up rough. I had my
so,
moments when
so,
I was
so I want to
dribbling.
make sure I get this. I want to make sure I get this back dry.
Listen.
So she was loving on a non church boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was.
Oh, we're gonna have to bring her
bro,
back for
my
part
nickname
2.
back then was Horse. I
Wow.
was I was 500 pounds. I was that guy. That
Wow. We're gonna have to bring her back for part 2 because she never gives us this. She gives us
no, we don't get to hear that side. I'm just Shaun the creative.
this is
I
always good when you have one side and another side. It's
yes,
it's
sir.
it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you guys learn how to build in friendship. You guys learn how to
Absolutely.
build through that. Um, Answer this question at a point when you knew that like she was loving God and kind of like you were on a different path at that moment.
Mhm.
Um, in that path, while you were on that path, she was on her path. What was it that kind of made you kind of come to the path of salvation and kind of like really been like, hey, this is where I want to be?
Well, it was pretty clear and plain. She made it. You want to be with me, you got to be with God. You can't have me and not have Him.
Mm,
So I had to make a decision. It really was like I had to draw a line in the sand because I had my best friend at the time who was the thuggest of thugs you ever met in your life. Like this dude's a killer. He was a drug dealing, all the things. And then I had this life over here with her, which was almost a complete 180. So
wow.
I literally stood at like a fork and I had to choose between, am I going to stick with this life? Because this dude, I had such high honor for him because when I was down and I was out and I was low on my luck, he had my back. He held
Yeah.
me down. So I'm very much a loyalist in that way. So it was like, do you go with your past or are you going with your future? And if you go with this future, you got to choose God. So it really was like I decided I wanted her, and that was part of the deal.
Wow.
I'm not going to say God gave me this revelation and I decided that I seen the light. No, it was I wanted her, and this was the path to get it. I'm a logical guy. Like this, I want A, but to get
Listen,
A, I got B.
you
That's
you
all
know
it was.
you know I like this. I like this conversation, right? I like this conversation for a lot of reasons because here's the problem. I think so many times so many people feel like, hey, I got to give you an answer that's so deep, that's so profound that like I can't even give you a state of regularness
Hmm.
without it, being something else. And so you're like, hey, no, I just recognize that hey, she was good.
I really believe that in our walks and in ministry, I think that some of us, at least one or two of us, need to be down here on the earth to talk to people on their
Mm,
level so they
mm,
understand and they get it and they can receive it. That's always been since I've been saved. That's been my approach to ministry. I got family members, like I just told you my background. I got people who, if you start to form your lips like you're about to say the word Jesus, they're gonna run the other way. They don't want to hear nothing about it. So my thing has always been, Lord, how can I introduce and show people the God I love without them being intimidated, without them feeling like they're getting Bible thumped or whatever, whatever the vernacular is. How can I show them my love and my compassion and my passion for God without scaring them away? So you can ask anybody who I minister to. It's very different. It's very
yeah,
raw. It's very real. It's very honest. So that's all. That's the only way I know how to give it. I'm not going to
yeah.
give you 30 scripts in 3 points. I'm going to
I like
tell you
that.
the
I
truth.
like that. I like that. And I want you to stay right there. Very different.
Hmm.
Um, let's fast forward a little bit. We kind of talked about how you got to, this marriage stage. Okay, you're
Hmm.
growing, you're becoming better. Uh, was there ever a time in your walk that you was like, forget this?
You only want to hear about one
Absolutely.
of them?
I want to hear about one because I think it's going to lead us to the rest
Well,
today.
I
But
can give you the big one, the biggest one where that definitely came into question. I maybe I don't know if all of you know my story, but I am a below the knee amputee.
oh, we
Last
coming,
year,
we coming.
I,
Yes, sir.
well, I'm a segue. For you, but just to answer your question, I ended up in this position where I had to get my leg amputated. And as you can imagine, as somebody who lives and serves God, I'm like, hey, what's up? I, I serve you. I do this for you. I tithe. My life is wrapped around you. How dare you?
Come on, man. Talk to us.
How like it was real. Like it was like, how dare you let me in? But here the theme here. Me, I, me. That's all it was about. So it really would it so I was mad. I was hurt. I was confused with how I could be in this position when I do all of this for you, Lord. How can I be the one that has to suffer? It's people out here doing this and they killing people and they cutting people and they selling drugs. All I do is push and promote and say God, Jesus.
Mind my business, take care of my
Right.
family.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. So when I found myself in that position, I was mad.
Oof.
I was confused, and I will say, at a lot of points, I'm like, I might as well just go do me and have fun and live life if this is the reward for serving you.
Wow.
That was just that was the real. I was in that for a good couple months in 23. Before all this stuff kind of rolled out.
We talked about this before we went live, and I talked about this evening. I did a Bible study, and I talked about bitter versus better. At any given point in time on this journey from the amputation, man, all of those questions are good because I brought those questions up in Bible study. How we as people, we take what happens to us as if God doesn't know or as if he doesn't understand. And so it kind of made you a little bitter. How did you handle shifting that bitterness back to betterness?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's not an emotional thing, or at least for me, it wasn't. It can't be about how you feel. It got to be about what you know and who you know. And at the end of the day, it just came down to like I had to make a choice about how I was going to move forward because it was going to happen.
Wow.
It was happening either way. So I was at a point where I was going to get this surgery and I was going to get my leg cut off, or I was going to die.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with how I feel. That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with what I think God did or what He didn't do. This is just what it is, and I really had to be real with myself and take accountability. And once the accountability kind of set in, all that anger and frustration went out the window because I'm not in this position because I'm being punished or because God doesn't love me. I'm in this position because I wasn't taking care of my health. I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do. I wasn't
Stop.
handling the things I needed to do. I wasn't maintaining my temple.
Stop.
God didn't do that.
Stop.
He gave me the things.
Stop. Shaun, stop. Because what you're telling me is I don't really have a reason to be upset with God
Man,
because He gave me the opportunity to fix it.
too many.
Uh-oh.
Many.
You just messed up somebody's theology.
But no, I'm not even gonna say that yet.
No, please don't hold back. Go ahead. Come on, give it to me.
But my problem is, and my wife has said this to me many a times, I intertwined faith, or what I thought was faith, with my fear and my failures. All those things was mixed up. So I summed it all down to, well, my faith is going to get me through this, and faith. No, buddy, no. You didn't. You failed to take care of your body and your temple the way you were supposed to. And then when it tipped over from failure into fear, because now I'm afraid that I'm going to die. I'm afraid that I got to get my foot cut off. All this fear is setting in, but I still want to convince myself that no, I'm operating in faith. That's why I'm not going to do this. That's why I'm avoiding that. No, that's not faith. So now God takes the blame again. Now, 2 times that I've taken off of myself and put on Him. So to answer your question, I got over the bitterness once I took responsibility for what I was not doing. That's the key. We get caught up and wound up and tied up in bitterness.
Don't scream at us like that and then run over that. Can you replay that one more time? Just one more time.
take responsibility for what you do and don't do. Don't blame it on the devil. I imagine somewhere in my vivid imagination, every time we say the devil did it, that he like, hey yo, what I was playing the Xbox. What y'all
I
talking
got
about?
one of those vivid imaginations as well. People don't realize, but I'm like, man, I know he be sitting somewhere sometimes. Like, well, wait a minute. Last week you didn't blame me. That was for me. That I
Mhm.
did do that. Now
Yep.
this weekend on me. I don't know why you
Right.
blaming
Right.
me. Like,
Right.
what's up with this? Like, can we get the right people in the right place?
Yep.
You, man, you're saying a mouthful. Because I'm no stranger to adversity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as big as your adversity because to not have a leg is a different kind of adversity, right? But I'm no stranger to it. And
And I disagree with that. I mean, cut you off. I disagree with that as my adversity. That don't
tenfold,
that don't minimize yours or
yeah, yeah,
whoever out there who's dealing with whatever. It don't
true.
matter the vastness of it. It's just what does it do to you and what position does it put you in and state of mind does it put you in? You know.
I would agree. I would agree. So I'll retract and say this: I'm no stranger to adversity, but every time I faced adversity, I took ownership. I think what you're saying, man, is so big because oftentimes I see people go through adversity. Uh, if it's the kingdom, we find scriptures to run over top of it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the
Yep.
world, we find an excuse.
Yep. Which is
And
kind of the same thing.
it, I'm just being a little bit more specific on the
Right.
outside,
Right. Right.
but my point being, yes, the same thing. It's an excuse. I'm always amazed, man. I've heard a lot of things through the background. You know, when people talk, I think they don't ever think that people will ever find out, and they do. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm always amazed at the different level of people. I'm shocked sometimes
Uh-huh.
that say something about my adversity, and I'm thinking to myself like, well, how in the world could you talk about my adversity? Is it because you think that people don't know yours?
Right. Right. Right.
What?
It's not hidden. It's not hidden. We know.
And you know, and I think it's amazing because I've watched, and I'm not hyping myself up. I don't want nobody to think that I'm
Mhm.
just giving background. I watch myself take accountability. I've written posts on taking accountability for my actions, but I'm always amazed at people who don't take accountability for their actions and then have the parties of people to push that narrative
Mhm.
as if like taking accountability something is wrong with it. So when
Why
you
do you
say
think
take
it's so hard
accountability,
for
I
people?
love this.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to take it though? To accept it?
Man, you know what it is? It's perception.
Mm.
And me and you are the same person. We don't really care about perception as in terms of you saw me fail, but watch me get back up.
And I honestly, to keep it real, I take pride in that. I take pride in
Like a
knowing that
banner across my chest.
for real. Like I fell hard, and as hard as I felt, because I know now. I'm look back on it now. The accountability gives me strength because I know, Shaun, you could have done better. You
Oh,
had you had
where
every
did this guy come
opportunity.
from? Marquita, I'm coming to grab him and take him away from you for a day. Do you hear me?
For
Come
real,
on, say
like
that again. Say that
you
again.
you had an opportunity, you had chance after chance to do better, and you just chose not to. It's a choice. All this is a choice. When I after the surgery, I woke up. I was terrified going in. I ain't gonna lie. Like I believe God, but I was like that was my scary fear moment. Is like I
As
hope
you
I
should.
wake up.
Yeah.
I hope I wake up. But when I did, I made a choice. I mean, as soon as I opened my eyes, I looked down and I seen the results, and I just made a choice. I said, from this moment forward, I'm going to run, like pun intended, like I'm going to run towards everything you got for me, Lord. But it essentially it just boils down to a choice. Just like I chose not to handle things, I'm choosing to take this thing by the neck and do what I got to do to win.
And let me tell you this. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Uh, it
Thank you.
is it is one of the reasons why now I wanted to talk to you
Wow.
because we got other adversities, but this adversity and navigating this, you wear this thing well.
Lord.
And I'm gonna be honest, because of course I'm paying attention to your wife's social media, so I'm seeing certain things, and I'm, hey sis, y'all good, good. Hey bro, I love you. All right, cool, thank you, I love y'all. But like, man, it's like it almost never happened.
Can I be real? In my
Does it
mind,
feel that way to you?
I forget. And unless I like try to stand up and tip over, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm missing something down there. God is, yeah, like he's giving me such grace with this, and that's how I know it's him, because
Oh, I
it's
love this tonight.
it's amazing how we have this plan for our life and how things are gonna be and turn out. And God said, well, I got a different approach. Like his thoughts are not our thoughts and all that. Since this thing has happened, God has put such a spotlight on me and put me in positions where, I mean, just me walking down the street inspires people. That's crazy to me.
Mm.
That's crazy to me that I could walk to a grocery store and somebody will come over and just want to talk and you can see in their eyes like they are inspired that I'm out here just living and not balling up in a corner hiding somewhere.
Because
That,
Shaun, you're
that
gonna get
that's
it,
God.
man. You are walking testimony, man. Probably a walking reality for so many people in their mind. I'm telling you, if I could call up my big sister, Pastor Mo, who let me preach our Bible study tonight, teach our Bible study, she would tell you I just said the same thing that you just said.
Wow.
That is, you are now the glory of God manifested through a person on earth. I got to get out of this thing. I got to get out of this thing.
But meanwhile, I'm mad at him.
Meanwhile,
On the lead up, I'm mad at him, and he like, this boy don't even know.
He don't. And here's the crazy part, because I understand humanity. I understand the ability to be mad at God. Understand the ability to be mad at self. Right.
Yep.
But when I say you are the glory of God manifested
That's
in a
great.
human form, it's the reason, because I want you to hear this, because what happens is when people see you loving, laughing, and living with the condition, it's not even a condition, but with the amputation, right, and the new leg, you know what they want to know? They want to know how.
Yep.
And now your testimony becomes God. So if there's somebody that interacts with you that don't believe, they now just gotta say, I gotta get out of this thing.
But look at even how God. Now, what did I tell y'all earlier? I want to be in the background. I don't want to be up front with a microphone. He built a microphone on my body. Like
he just
it's
put
built
you in.
in.
He
Like
just put
I
you
don't
in
have
the
to.
front.
I don't have to preach.
He just put you in the front, but he had to put you in the front. Shaun, hear me, man, because I'm still amped up from Bible study, and I got to calm down. But I want you to hear me. He had to put you in the front, and I said this earlier. The Bible talks about in the last days, I'll pour out my spirit on all flesh.
Yes,
Let me tell you what most people go wrong. Most people think that the spirit is an utterance of the tongues. They think that his spirit is a utterance of an emotional reaction, right? Let's mess them up. The spirit is him coming upon you through your testimony. So when people interact with you who don't believe God, who don't care about God, who ain't even trying to have an understanding of God, but they see a regular man laughing, living. I'm telling you, I felt something just creep up my back shoulder here.
I'm about
They
to come
see
up
you laughing, loving, and living.
Yes.
You know what they're going to do?
Yes.
How?
How? And I'm gonna tell him, and I'm gonna put a God, and that's what I say. I don't God. How do you do it, brother? God. To the point, like when I go to the clinic and to the wound clinic to get my normal checkouts, like they have me speak to patients who are going, because I'm just like how are you this happy? How are you this joyful? How are you? How? Oh, I'll tell you how.
Oh God.
You put that thing in perspective. I never even thought of it like that, but that's the absolute truth.
He just made your living testimony.
That is crazy.
Oh, I'm
That's
about to
crazy.
lose my mind on this live. I got to get off of here. Shaun,
A
I'm
walking
trying not to cry.
testimony.
He just
Jesus
made
Christ.
you a living testimony.
Jesus.
And here's the truth. Here's the truth. He also just pulled you out your comfort zone.
Snatched me out of it. Snatched me out of it.
Marquita, get this guy off my life. He just snatched you. Because you was like, because let's be honest, if it was up to you, Shaun, you was cool.
Oh no, I'll put it in the right term for you. I was like, no, God, no, I'm not doing it. I never said that, but that's what I was saying with my. I just want to be in the back. I just want to be over here. I'm cool. You can do it, babe. That's a no. That's a lot of no's. And he said, oh, okay. Well, let me do it my way because you ain't gonna do it the way I'm. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna make your heart hard. You're gonna be stubborn. You're not gonna take care of this. You're not gonna handle your body,
I
and then
gotta
I'm
get
gonna get what I want on you. I'm gonna just do it.
out.
You gonna be a testimony for me, whether you want to preach it or live it. I guess I got to live it because
You know, man, let me ask this. Let me ask this. Because we figured it out. We just figured it out.
I'm messed up. See, now you told me before you didn't like to do the pre stuff, and I respect that, but you could have gave me a
No,
little.
because it took away.
Gave me a little bit of that. I could have processed that.
It would take away from the authentic. All right, hold on. Let's ask a question.
Messed up.
Let's ask a question. Um, as you're going through this journey of an amputation,
Mm-hmm.
you now it's happened. You are living in it. Uh, tell me like the first three thoughts that came to your mind.
Negative or positive, or just any thoughts?
Both. Give me both. Yeah, let's go both.
I mean, I told you the positive. The positive, when I'm in rehab, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take life by the horns, and I'm gonna prove that I can win. That was it. That was my MO, was I'm gonna prove not only myself wrong, but any doubters wrong. That was the motivation. The thoughts when I first got home, honestly, because I was in and out of the hospital so much, I felt like unnecessary when I got home. I felt like an add-on, because they had to figure out how to move without me and do things without me around because of the process. So I felt very alone
Wow.
initially,
Wow.
even though I was surrounded by everybody who loved me. All my wife loves me, my children love me, my family, friends there, like people driving 400, 500 miles just to come spend a day with me. So it wasn't that I was alone, but I felt so isolated because I'm like, nobody else is experiencing this thing.
Yeah.
Well, all I had or had access to him, really in my heart of hearts, was God. Like I had to
Wow.
trust him, lean on him, believe him, because my brain was twisting everything
Yeah.
initially.
Yeah.
So that was a real feeling and
When you say
emotion
twisting everything, what do you mean? It was telling you opposite of what you really wanted
of
to
what
believe.
was going on. Yeah, like
Wow.
for instance, one of the week I got home, nobody's thinking about kind of where I am. So my wife and my son, they got out the car. Now I didn't have the prosthetic or anything, so I had to wait, and they kind of forgot about me. Like my wife went in the house, my son just wasn't thinking, and they left me outside by the car just because that's the natural flow. When I tell you my heart was broken that day, because I just felt like forgotten, I felt alone, I felt helpless.
Wow.
So, but it wasn't that. They just literally wasn't thinking. But again, my mind was so twisted in all these emotions and different things that I really just went instantly there. And a lot of that happened, like little things, nothing things would become in my mind. I
Yeah.
had to battle in my mind, like,
Yeah.
no, this ain't what you are perceiving.
It's
So that
it was an honest mistake. It wasn't a
right. But again, my emotions made it into bigger, way bigger deal than what it was. And like you
wow.
said, it was just honest mistakes, simple
Wow.
things that you wouldn't even think about normally. But
Wow.
because I was in this emotional state, it felt ginormous.
Wow. Wow. You know, huh, man, I don't think I was ready for this live today.
Listen.
It's comments that's like, hey, I wasn't ready for this live. You it's so many great comments that's happening on here that I'm just like, whew, I'm messed up because your carriage is probably one of the biggest ones I've seen
Mm.
personally.
Hmm.
You see certain people via social media, like, wow, that's amazing. But when you know a person,
Yeah, it hit different. Mm.
way different. When you know them a little bit pre,
Hmm.
right, middle, and after, you're like, woof. You speak carriage very differently. So I want to pause for just a minute because I just feel like it needs to be done. Take 5, take 10 minutes. What would you say to somebody who may not be in the space of amputation, but may just be in a space mentally, emotionally, that
Hmm.
they're dealing with something heavy like you dealt with? What would you say to them? How would you minister to them right now in this moment?
Honestly, nothing different than what I've said already. The steps, I guess, if you're going to call it that, is to stop, take accountability, and then make a choice. I mean,
Mm,
that's really a formula for a lot of the so-called drama we go through in life. You have to
mm,
accept what you did or didn't do and not shift blame,
mm.
because a lot of times it's like I just said, with that emotional state, we will create this the scenarios and these situations, and believe it, like we believe our nonsense. A lot of times we will invest in it, and that's a human flaw. A
Yeah,
lot of times it's not as deep as we make it. It's not all these people that we accuse. It's not anybody but us. We are our worst enemy. So I think the biggest thing is to take responsibility and accountability for what you did and didn't do. Because if it's always happening and you're dealing with something, you the common denominator. Maybe it's not everybody else.
yes, sir.
You know, our plan B then is to blame it on God or the devil. We don't take responsibility.
Yeah,
So take accountability, understand who's responsible, and then make a choice and stand in it and walk in it.
yeah.
That's and I know that's very, again, I told you I'm not going to give you 5 scriptures in a prayer. I'm going
Nah,
to tell you
nah,
flat out. I mean that's just who I am. Like,
nah.
stop bull crapping and take responsibility and make a choice.
Yeah,
And when you
yeah.
make that choice, walk in it, stand in it, and move forward in it.
Mm,
And that choice needs to be to shift out of what you're in,
yeah,
to stop what you're doing, to
yeah,
change your mind about what you've been thinking. Whatever that thing is, the world is not against you. You create your world, you create your
yeah,
atmospheres, you create your environment, you control the people you're around.
yeah.
So any of those things, other than and again, even in my situation, this is not, I created a situation by not doing what I needed to do. And how do I undo it? I change my diet. Get my health in order. I eat the right things. I put the right things in my body. I get to the gym. I exercise. This is not a woe is me situation. It's a choice. It really boils down to a choice. I don't have my foot anymore, but I have a $20,000 prosthetic leg. I'm good. I walk. I get around. I do what I got to do. It's life. It's what it is. But I had to make a choice. I plan on doing a 5K this year. I want to.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
you might have seen the video when I was out playing basketball. I'm walking. I'm out here, and
Let's
I could have chose to be laying in the bed saying, "Oh, poor me." I'm not ever going to do that. That's a
let's
choice.
go. Let's
That's a
go.
choice. So
Woo!
to answer the last statement with that is just make a choice. Make a choice, and that's not to oversimplify it or to minimize what anybody is going through. But really, that's all it boils down to. You go through the Bible all day. Everything is a choice. Every decision, every destiny is based on a choice to
Mm.
take a left, take a right, or move forward in God. So make a choice.
Yee, whew, man. Uh, ah, you know
I,
that's
I, I like when I stumped the interviewer. That just, you
hey,
lost words right now.
yeah, I'm done. I ain't gonna sit here and lie and play no games. I'm done. You know this song. Marquita might not know this song, but you know this song. That song says, "How did we get here?"
Nobody's supposed to. Oh, trust me, she know that song. The prophet
Oh, she
wasn't
know that song.
always
Hey,
holy.
listen,
She wasn't always
We
that
know
holy.
we know that she holy, but we know.
Oh, yeah. No,
No, man.
but
Uh,
I'm glad we got here. I am. I mean, I thank you for giving me an opportunity to just come on here and kind of share that.
what?
And I hope that helps somebody. I hope that me not
I'm
being
happy you came.
leaders deep in the Bible can help somebody understand in simple terms. Make a choice.
Yeah,
Shift. It's that
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
It really is. We make it deep. It's not.
I'm not gonna mess us up on this live, but I really feel it strongly. Like, man, God brought you here or allowed you to be here in this moment, but I think
Mhm.
it's gonna really alter a lot of people's thinking that meet you and connected to you. Your strength is gonna show them what God is really all about.
Amen. Amen.
And man, I pray that as you move forward in this, I owe y'all like some time. I owe y'all some time, so I need to come see y'all and hang out.
Oh, we
But
coming up there. We coming up there.
I know that where you are right now
Mhm.
is God's going to use it to do something just so strong and great with, man. I'm over here as
Wow.
your little brother, just watching, just proud. I'm glad you came tonight. I am super ecstatic that you came tonight. I never
Thank
want to sound like I'm digging on anybody else's podcast. Uh, I created Authentically You for real people with real
you.
stories,
Mhm.
and that would be extremely vulnerable with sharing. It wasn't about how many people they had, how many people they don't have. Just really want to hear from real people and
I
share those
respect.
real stories with people. And tonight, you have helped us. I can't wait to chop this stuff up and put it out as little clips so that people can hear it, grab it, and become better from it. So, I thank you
Absolutely.
so much. Any final words, man?
Um, trust God the first time.
Mm,
Don't make him say it to you over and over again. Don't make him shift you and take you on an alternative route when his way is the only way and should be the first choice.
mm. What she say?
She just making faces. She just making faces. I'm about to pull her on the camera. She keep peeking around the corner.
Hey, you want to come say hi?
Nope, this is his moment, and I'm so happy for him.
Are you sure?
I'm so sure.
Meanwhile, she's on here. You
She
might as
not.
well.
Yeah, she she want to peek around that thing so bad and give us a holler. All right.
She
Uh,
being good. I'm
You guys are doing so great. I'm so happy.
sure.
all right.
Yeah, but
Listen,
that's really my final word, man. Just and I'll say it again.
I
Trust
love
God the
it.
first. Leave Him the first time,
Absolutely.
and it'll be easy.
For sure. All right, listen up, everybody. Let's do this. Let's throw some hearts up in the chat for our brother here. Come on, throw them up, go crazy. Uh, when you go back and watch this replay, it's a lot of comments and fire and people pushing you on. I think somebody even called you prophet brother. Oh Lord.
Amen. I'll receive it today.
Receive it, receive it. But nonetheless, I want to thank my good brother, my big brother here for coming on tonight and sharing the story. I'm excited because we got two interviews this week with, I believe, two great men. One being my brother Shaun here, and then later on this week on a Friday, I'm excited about that interview as well. I believe this that women, you guys are great, you're amazing, you're wonderful. But it's also time to hear from our brothers, who especially uh, been through some things and can guide us through, because it's time to bring our brothers up a little bit. You know, we'll bring some of the women back, but want to bring our brothers up and make sure that they understand that God loves them, God cares about them, and God wants them to be all that God wants them to be as well. All right. So I thank y'all. Until next time, my friends, we will catch you Friday evening at 8 p.m. You're going to get this outro video in a minute, but we will see you next time.